Thanks. I'll go upstairs and get a tea in a minute.
You do all the talking.
Guys on Zoom, can you hear us alright? Can you see Sam and Emma? Brilliant. Alright, lovely stuff. Great, great. If I could ask you to put yourselves on mute until we come to you, that'd be brilliant. Lovely to see you all. Very exciting one. Paris FC tomorrow, joined by Emma Hayes and Sam Kerr. Can we come to James at Sky Sports, please, first, James?
Emma, really good to see you.
Hi.
Can we start with the team news? And
Yeah.
I'll tell Millie Bright, I didn't see her with my eagle eyes at training area.
Yeah, Millie's 50-50 for tomorrow. I've made it clear that having so many games in quick succession, that we're managing our loading. We wanted to give her a little bit of extra time, but I think she's very much in doubt for tomorrow.
What's the issue?
As you know, prior to the World Cup, she had a surgery on her knee, so preparation going into the World Cup wasn't ideal. She probably, rushed herself back, and she's also come back after the World Cup and quickly into the Chelsea season. So perhaps she needed a little bit longer. So her knee's a little bit angry at the minute. It's not anything that's too detrimental, but I think we're just listening to her body at the minute and how it's feeling, and so we're just going to take decisions on a day-by-day basis.
Could that mean she could withdraw from the Lioness squad?
Yeah, possibly. I think there's a strong possibility that that could happen.
Okay, moving on the weekend, it was released record figures, viewing figures for your game against Liverpool. I just wanted to get your reaction on that when you hear news like that.
Wow, that's amazing news. I know we like to talk about viewing figures and attendances a lot, so it's great to know that we won the great viewing figure statistic race.
This week, lots of attention, as you're not surprised about, on your next move and what this international break will look like. How are you finding that balance since that's been announced with being Chelsea head coach and still having an eye on what's going on with the US women's team?
Yeah, I mean, I think I've been very generous in what I've said so far, and as far as I'm concerned, I'm here to talk about Chelsea business, and that's all I'm going to talk about today.
No problem at all. Sam, just wanted to get your opinions on your boss leaving at the end of the season. We haven't heard from you. Love to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, it's obviously sad. Emma's a great coach, a great leader, and she's been here for so long. But, that's football. I'm in a different position than most of the girls. I've had many different coaches over my career. So I don't want to say I'm used to it, but I'm more, I guess, used to it than someone like Millie or the other girls that have been here longer. So Chelsea's very lucky that they've had her for as long as they have. But, I mean, most of us in football are used to this thing. So it's sad to see her go, of course. But, of course, we all wish her all the best.
Do you mean it?
No.
I was going to say, will you be thinking that when you're going out for Australia and Emma's in the US dugout?
Oh, no, the USA never want to play us anyway. They never pick us to play them, but hopefully now they pick us and I can go to the USA a bit more.
Sam, last week in the Champions League, we saw some interesting officiating. I wanted to just get your opinions on that and what can be improved, certainly within the European game, to improve those decision makers so we don't see maybe such big errors made.
Yeah, I mean, I'm here to play football. I hate commenting on the referees because I think it just becomes tick for tack, and I don't want to get into that. I think, of course it's frustrating, but we've moved on from it, and that's Emma and Paul's job to deal with those things as a player. I just try and stay out of it because, like you said, it can become frustrating, but I don't know how to improve it. I don't know if I love VAR or not, so it's not for me to comment on. I just try and focus on the game and be in the moment and play and have the best impact I can have rather than let the referees control my emotions and feelings.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, James. Can we come across to Emma Sanders next, please, Em?
Hi, James. Hope you're well.
Hey,
Thanks for your time.
how are you?
Emma, I'll start with you. Just want to ask you, I was wondering where you were looking there. I just want to ask you about the youth development. I know you've chatted about her quite a lot already this season because obviously she's had a great start. But I just wondered
Who?
if there's anything that she's maybe. Neve Charles.
Oh, Neve.
Yeah, I just wondered if there's anything different or maybe just something that she's adapted this season to sort of fulfil her potential kind of in the ways that we've obviously seen glimpses of, but she seems to be doing it a lot more with consistency.
I think it's probably a question for her than me, because only when you ask her you'll know what her learnings have been. I think she's been in this place for quite some time. I'd probably cite maybe February of March of last year where I felt she's been in that place, and I don't think she's looked back.
And in terms of the way that the team's setting up this year, do you feel like you're getting, maybe it's that you're getting the best of her strengths maybe a little bit more than you were last season?
I mean, I always intend to get the best out of her strengths. It's just she's in a great place. She's on form. It's all coming together, and I think she deserves a lot of credit for the work she's done because it's all been Neve. You know, she's a top pro, and she's, for me, a role model for many to look up to of what you can do with, you know, hard work and application.
Yeah, I guess this competition has been an area of growth for several players, Neve obviously being one of them. And when you play against opposition that provide different challenges to what you're used to in the WSL, does that kind of give you so much more of an area to grow than you know, the usual weekly games against sort of the same opposition that you're used to playing?
I mean, come and watch our training environment. The opposition against each other every day is fierce. I'm telling you, that is as tough as it gets. So our players, Neve included, are ready to play against multiple different teams, and we're an experienced side. And Neve, in the last 4 years, has developed a lot of experiences against different opponents. So none of this is a surprise to us.
Yeah, Sam, just one for you quickly, just on the way that the group has kind of looked after the first round of fixtures. Obviously, I know it's still early days, but how important is it to kind of not lose ground? And yeah, it feels like, while it's not a must-win, if you were to sort of drop points again in this game, it feels like that's early ground to have to make up in the table.
Yeah, I think the Champions League's obviously really tough. You play different opponents every week, but I mean, we don't think like that. We go into every game wanting to win, especially at home, and obviously we have a lot of respect for every team in our group, but when we go out, we expect to win. So, I mean, I definitely don't think about must-wins or anything like that. I'm just thinking about performing, and I think if we played to the best of our ability, I know we only tied against Madrid away, but I think last time we played them in the group, our away point was an important point. Yeah. So I think come the end of the group, that point will probably be a really important one again. So you have to play every game as it comes. You can't think about the future or the past in the Champions League. You've just honestly got to focus one game at a time, and that's what we'll do tomorrow.
Nice one, well, all the best. See you tomorrow.
Thank
Cheers.
you.
Thanks.
Thanks, Emma. Can we come across to Dan next, please?
Hi, Emma. Hope you're well.
Hey.
Just want to know what you thought of Paris FC. Obviously, you know, I'm sure they're enjoying the journey in the Champions League, but what have you made of them so far?
Really organised, tough to break down, deserving of the position they're in. You know, they fluctuate between a 4-4-2 and a 4-2-3-1. Very narrow formation. They're very compact. They'll make it difficult to play in between spaces, and they're very good in transition, trying to get down the sides. As I've said before, I think we respect them. Look at the games they've won so far, and I think in the game they played in their opening, their opening match against Häcken, they were equally very good, just on the losing side. So I think this will be an extremely tough game.
Obviously, it's Alsu Abdelina's loan club.
Yeah.
How's she doing there? And presumably she won't give you any secrets.
Oh no, absolutely, she won't give us any. But it'd be lovely. I know the girls will be excited to see her. She was such a popular member of the team here, so everybody will really be looking forward to seeing her.
That's brilliant. Thanks, Emma. Best of luck for tomorrow night.
Thanks.
Cheers, Dan. Catherine next, please.
wanted to ask you about Aggie Beever-Jones, because Serena said yesterday that while she wasn't in the England squad, she's very much in the conversation and somebody that they're thinking about. And I think looking at her stats, she's scored 4 goals from 8 shots. So just kind of your thoughts on how well she's doing, and is it evidence that the loan system, how valuable that is, and how that's kind of helped her in her development this season?
Yeah, I think it's great that Aggie's in the conversations. I agree with Serena. I think Aggie's got work to do still. Knowing when to go it alone in situations and when to link with others. But she's such a good learner, and she's, I think, unbelievably efficient in front of goal. The chances she's got, she's taken really well. There's a competition going on between her and Sam Kerr on a daily basis, which is fun to see. They're driving standards for each other. And she's someone, like I said, it's good for her to be in the conversation, but it's also another good moment for us to show how important the loan system has been for us. And Aggie is the first Chelsea women's player to come through the academy system all the way through. It's been a long time coming, and hopefully Aggie will be the first of many to come through.
Thanks, Emma. And just to Sam, I just wanted to kind of ask how you're feeling, because obviously Emma mentioned Millie there and having that injury going into the World Cup, and we know that you kind of struggled with an injury at the tournament. So how has it been for you kind of getting back fit, while you're obviously in Australia, but obviously, with the games kind of coming thick and fast, how you're feeling kind of at the minute?
Yeah, I'm feeling better, thank you. But no, yeah, it's been a process. Obviously, I've never really, since I've been at Chelsea, dealt with a little bit of an injury or a niggle, so it's been quite frustrating, to be honest, and I'm used to myself being at such a high fitness level and just being able to back up game after game, training session after training session. So it's been quite frustrating, but I definitely feel like I'm on the up now, and I'm still not at my peak, but I'm working towards it, and enjoying it. Honestly, it's something that I haven't really dealt with in my career a lot, so it's been a bit of a challenge, but I feel like I've turned the corner now and I'm on the up.
Great to hear. Thanks, Sam.
Cheers, Catherine. Can we come across to Sandra next, please?
Painful patient you are.
Hi Emma, hi Sam.
Hey.
I hope you're both well. Emma, just the first question to you, just in terms of what you mentioned about the academy, how good is it for the younger players who are currently in there just to see Aggie's progress over the last couple of seasons, actually?
It's been brilliant. Of course, it's great for them. And, Aggie came back. She went away an academy player on loan, and she came back very clearly a first-team player. That's been the big difference. I think the team embraced her and acknowledged how important that loan experience was. And, of course, that makes it easier for the academy setup to speak to young players about, when you sign contracts, that there is a path, and that pathway to first team isn't directly into the first team. It may involve multiple loans over multiple years before that path happens. And if you think Aggie, Everton and Bristol, well, she has journeyed to get here, and I think as a result of that, she's more readied.
And do you do, just out of interest, life skills training for some of those young players coming through as well? Handling, like, say, for example, if they're, like Aggie, they make it through, they break through, and just that kind of being young and being your profile, getting bigger, I suppose, with your talent.
Yeah, there's a team of people in the academy that do various things with them, from, welfare, lifestyle, academy director, their coaches. They'll work through a number of different things that are preparing them for life. It's another generation too. We're having to do a lot of education around social media and their use of it, and I think that's probably the most challenging one. But we have to work with it at the same time. But yeah, we certainly have built a strong infrastructure around the players.
And the question for you both, just playing that first home game in the Champions League at Stamford Bridge, and just your thoughts on that, rather than, like you say, the enclosed kind of Kings Meadow crowd on top of you type of feel.
Yeah. We love both stadiums for different reasons. I do feel that Stamford Bridge is becoming more familiar, and I think the more you play there, the better it will be for us. I think the team doesn't mind where they are, but we understand that for our growth and for like competition regulation requirements, we have to be at Stamford Bridge, and we'll embrace that.
That's great. Thanks. Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sandra. Charlotte and then Tom, please.
Hiya.
Mm.
I know you said full focus on Chelsea.
Yes, and I meant it.
Said she's sharing
Yeah.
information, ideas with you.
Yeah.
Pick the US squad collaboratively,
Yeah.
and you will do that moving forward. She'll come to the UK and have conversations with you, and hopefully
Yeah.
vice versa is what she said. Can you just clarify how your time is split between the US and Chelsea?
No, there is no split. My time is here with Chelsea. Of course, since I've been appointed as the coach, I've had conversations with people to establish that, you know, there are full-time people in post in the US, and I will be there in May. And of course, when the opportunity arises, I will have conversations with Twyla, but my full focus is on Chelsea.
Will you fly to the US during this international break?
I haven't decided yet. I certainly focus it on the next couple of games, and if not, then I will try and take a Zoom call where possible.
I imagine you don't need to do a lot of research regarding the US players, but presumably you're watching them in order to be able to pick the squad with Twyla.
No, I'm not watching them. I'm watching my own team. I'm watching our competition. You know, that's the work of Twyla and the full-time staff that are in place. I don't start working for US Soccer until May.
Thanks, Emma.
Thanks.
Hey, Sam.
Hello.
Great to hear that you're better. I just wanted to hear what you feel like you've done well at the start of the season and what you really want to improve on.
I feel like for me, it's kind of been a bit of a build the first few games of the season. I obviously wasn't, you know, I missed out on pre-season, missed a lot of the World Cup, so I hadn't really trained when I came back to Chelsea in like 10 to 12 weeks. So for me, it's been just getting my legs back onto my fitness, you know, finding my way in the game. Obviously, what are you laughing at? Obviously, like, I haven't been at my fittest, but I think for me it's been a real positive that although I haven't been at my fittest and maybe my top level, that I've scored a few goals, and that's given me confidence, because I think as a striker, when you're not at your top fitness, or you're not in the groove, I guess, you can lose a little bit of confidence. But the fact that I've scored a few goals and helped the team out has given me confidence and allowed me to kind of focus on just building myself back in. And, you know, I'll get there. I think, you know, in the next 2 to 3 weeks, I'll hopefully be back at my fitness. And these last few blocks of games where there's been game after game after game has really helped me, because I feel like I play my best when, you know, there's repeat games, but I just maybe haven't been as fit as I usually was or last year. But I think for me, I've taken confidence out of the fact that I haven't been at my best, but I've scored a few and had a few assists, so that's been nice for me as a striker.
Any key targets you want to achieve this season?
Win the Champions League. That's the main one.
I also noticed your Aura ring. Did you have that before the club provided them, and how has that helped you monitor physical, mental recovery?
No, I actually just got it from the club. It's been quite interesting. I've only been wearing it for like 2 weeks now, but it's just been interesting. I don't really pay attention to all of that stuff. I don't really think it's, not that I don't think it's beneficial, but I think it's a little bit like...
Tell the truth.
The more you know, the more you make excuses. So I just kind of think, like, I don't want to know what's wrong. But
Have you been running to Georgie every day she's been in to tell her how well you've been doing?
I actually got a little bit of a cold over the weekend, and my Aura ring told me on game day, oh, your temperature's rising, but I didn't feel sick, and then that night I got a little bit sick, so I thought it was quite interesting. My ring told me that I was about to get sick, but I don't like those things, because I hate when you wake up in the morning and your ring tells you you've had a bad sleep, because it just gives you an excuse to be tired. But it's all right. I actually don't mind it. It's okay.
Wishing you a good night's sleep. Thanks.
Thanks, Charlotte. Last one from Tom, please.
Hi everyone. Can you hear me all right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Just before I ask a question, could I just quickly quickly say congratulations, Sam. I'm sure I speak from everyone.
Oh.
Everyone's very pleased for you about your engagement. Massive congratulations to
Thank
you. and your
you.
half.
Thank you.
Emma, can I just clarify one thing on Halsu Abdelina? There's been conflicting media reports. Some saying she can't play, some saying she can. Can you clarify whether she can play against Chelsea tomorrow?
Paul's nodding his head. Yes, she can.
Okay, thank you. That's helpful. And I just wanted to ask you a question, Emma, about Hannah Hampton. She's in the England squad.
Yeah.
Great to see. But Serena Bigman was sort of essentially saying that Ellie Roebuck's not in it because she's not playing for a club. I guess I'm wondering whether we might therefore see Hannah involved in any of these Champions League group stage games, or have you got any plans to give her a run out in a competitive game?
No, I haven't given it any thought.
Are you pleased so far with her development?
Oh, right, sorry, the second part. Yeah, no, Hannah's been great. Hannah and I agreed that this block would be all about developing in training and working into the team on a daily basis. I'm sure we'll sit down before international break and start to discuss what the next block looks like. But so far, really, really good, and I can only judge her based on what she's doing day in, day out, and she's been brilliant in our environment.
Thank you so much. And Sam, can I just ask you one question about Barry FC, just to follow on from what Emma was saying? Is it safe to say there's sort of no risk of complacency, like the team appreciate how dangerous Barry FC can be?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think you saw with the results against Wolfsburg and Arsenal to beat two really good teams over two legs shows that they're an amazing team. But, you know, just watching them in previous games, they look really good going forward. And like Emma said, they look really disciplined. So, I mean, you can't take any team lightly in the Champions League, or for any league for that matter. But I think with them, they're kind of riding this wave at the moment that can be quite dangerous if you don't take them seriously. So hopefully tomorrow we can play really well and shut them down. But yeah, they're definitely a team that we have to respect, not only because of their results lately, but because when a team has confidence like this, they can be really dangerous.
Thank you both very much. Good luck.
Thanks.
Thanks, everyone. Cheers, guys.
Cheers. Thank you.
You and your